Well, we're set now for round 14, ladies and gentlemen. We go sprint car racing at Archerfield International Speedway, and a couple of local hotshots on the first two rows. In the outside front row, Darren Jensen in the Serco 75, Daryl Hodges in the HMS number 15 car. There is Brent Kading, you might remember from last week's show, right in the thick of it. Well, there's something you don't see every day, just every other day. Skip Jackson on the pole. Unbelievable the way he does that. Just very methodical in his approach. Danny Smith will start from 3. We go green in round 14 to the $500,000 World Series Sprint Cars. Right through the middle. Who was that going through? Might have been Peter Murphy. Hodges to the outside of Jackson. The track has started to slick off, ladies and gentlemen. You can see a little bit of dust trails. Look at Hodges to the outside. Big move on fellow statesman Darren Jensen. Gary Rush. Big wheel stand. Coming out of turn number 3, that unsettled the car just a little bit. Jensen back in the field now. Danny Smith in behind him. Look at Peter Murphy in the O'Brien aluminium car. Oh, you just saw then Daryl Hodges' car drive really hard off the left rear tyre. Skip is your leader, but look at the traffic back here. And Murphy on a mission. The green car with the silver wing, the O'Brien aluminium entry. Danny Smith and the Diecrest 88. Look at him go a bit deeper into the corner. Now Jensen is trying to, they're looking for moisture here. That's why you'll see Jensen way down the bottom trying to find the darker rail of dirt, and guys like Gary Rush going up above that slick rail to try and find some moisture up high. Ooh! Was that Hodges banging the wall then? Certainly the guy's trying to find every inch of racetrack. Gary Brazier, the Australian Sprint Car champion, is there. And the all-white Australia 1, Kading makes short work of him. Or does he? Reality check. No thanks, BK. Brazier, who just cannot stand being passed. I think he'd rather not eat for a week than be passed. Nathan McDonald in the Fraser Shaw's number 32 car brings on the yellows. Skip Jackson in this car he calls just a basic old car built by his brother Jeff Jackson. If there's no tricks to it, and the trick is Skip, because he sure does get it to work good. Murphy on the outside of Brazier. Kading not content at all to sit where he is. Well, Brazier gets the spot back on Murphy, who pushes hard back into turn number 3 and 4, but drifts high. You want to be careful, he's got one of the best in the game sitting right behind him. Hodges, the wild card of this race meeting. Look at him pushing Jackson. He's an emotional little character, is Daryl Hodges. Stocky, loves to get on the gas. Look at Rush. Let's have a look at the experience versus raw aggression here. Let's see who wins the matchup. Rush forced to pinch off the corner a little bit. Hodges was very defensive, as you'd expect. Not that you'd know it was Rush, but if you were, you'd be twice as defensive. There's Darren Jensen. Brazier starting to pick his way through the field now. Oh, just moves up the Valvoline. Wazico Serco 75. Brazier. Oh, Peter Murphy, big hit in turn number 4. 36 car, I think it might have been a McComb, hard on the brakes to miss. Let's have a look. The top right-hand corner. Oh, he's ridden a wheel there of Jensen. And watch it. Bam! Just nails the lighting tower. That is a jarring crash. Peter Murphy, I hope he's okay. Great job then by McComb to miss. And Peter climbing out of the car. Probably can't believe his bad luck. Talking there with him is Anthony Lambert in the red, white and blue race suit. Quick to check on Murphy's safety, but he rode the right rear of Darren Jensen, the red 75 car. There was no room for error. Hodges, he's got the sniff of victory in the air here. I don't know that it's necessarily there yet. He's got to get past one of the best slick track drivers you'll ever see. And as this race wears on, you'll see just how good the skipster is on tracks that start to slick up. Danny Smith dives in low. Brazier still trying to come forward and pick up Danny Smith. He's sandwiched between two Americans at this stage. Hodges above the cushion. Rush back in the 3rd spot. And there is Jensen in 4th. Danny Smith in 5th. Ooh, BK. Nearly a mistake. There's a lot of Americans in this field. I think that was Terry McCall in the Sid Moore, number 77. Ooh, Jensen banged the wall twice. Buy yourself a lottery ticket, Mr. Jensen, because you don't often bang the wall at Archerfield twice and not go seriously on your head. Danny Smith up high while Brazier works the low side. Not very often you see Gary Brazier on the bottom, but you can't make up spots if you're running behind everybody else. Brazier massaging the car down low, trying to pick up an advantage. Danny Smith right in behind him. The guys are very sideways out of the turns. In stark contrast, if we get a shot of Skip Jackson, I'm sure you'll see the wheels pretty well in line. There it is. Yep, just look at how the front wheels stay in line with the rear. Uh-oh, trouble for someone. I think it's Gessner going to the infield. Rush trying to get something to stick on the bottom, while Hodges happy to blast through the heavier clay above the cushion. He doesn't like running the low line, Darryl Hodges. I've never seen him do it yet. Onto the main straight. Let's look at the traffic. Two Americans trying to chase down Australian champ Gary Brazier. And Jensen, the Queenslander, who can count himself very lucky not to go on his head earlier when he banged the wall right there on the main straight twice. Rush at this stage, having to settle for third, although you get the feeling he's on a quest for something better. Well, Jackson right off the gas midway through the turn, really had to square the car up. Oh no, it's come to an end for Hodges, and big trouble for him. That's a shame. He just got in, he tagged the wall. The only difference between what he and Jensen did was he did it later in the corner and there was no way to straighten up. Oh, look at the diff. Bang, big flame there. Might have even ruptured the fuel tank, or if not, the sump. Well, that is such a shame for Hodges because he was really flying. Once you get into the wall once, it sucks you in hard. You can't drive off it. So now Rush up to second. Well, has the Master Blaster got anything for Skip Jackson? Jensen still in third. Brazier to fourth now, inching his way forward. Kading to the top side. Danny Smith in behind him. Back then to Dean McComb, who pulled a brilliant move to miss Peter Murphy when he went upside down. Jensen under pressure now from Kading in the 69 USA car. Diving in on the bottom, but Jensen should have momentum on his side, and he does. Onto the main straight. Getting a little bit loose was Kading. Yellow lights coming on. Oh, someone's dropped a wheel in turn number 3 and 4. Well, it's Andrew Shirley in the Lucas Oil's number 95 Maxim. That's a disappointing result for the talented Queenslander. Back at the restart. Skip Jackson in full command, but the man behind him has written the book on last-minute charges. Away we go. Skip massaging the steering wheel, just keeping the car straight. They're right up on the wall. Cushion has moved up high. Talking about the cushion, we're not talking about what people are sitting on. We're talking about a thick rail of dirt up against the wall, almost a berm, if you will. Jensen has been right in the hot seat tonight. He's doing a good job. The beautifully turned out number 75 Serco car. Brazier starting to come forward now. He's got the wing back a little bit. If you notice the difference in the wing setting between the 75, it's pushed way forward, so is Kading. Brazier has pulled the wing back. And you can see he's getting more traction over the rear of the car. He's tightened the car up a little bit to run the bottom down there. Kading up in the heavy clay. Danny Smith sitting right in behind him. Out of turn 4, Brazier down low. Good lighting here at this circuit. You can see that black rail, the slick track starting to work out. The guys running above and below it, but no one wants to get through the middle. A lot of wheel spin there. Look at Kading again trying the outside. It's a little bit rough above the cushion. He's not able to keep the car settled enough, and as a result, Brazier's able to get enough speed off the corner. Well, he drifted up track then. He got very loose, and now Brazier going upstairs. Well, obviously the low groove just wasn't doing the job, so Brazier's going to try something a little bit different and try and run down Jensen. Well, Danny Smith tried the slide job on Kading. I tell you what, if you do it, you want to do it properly, because if Kading gets out and he's not happy, run for your life. Brazier still under pressure here because Kading is trying to nail him. Out of turn number 2, BK pulls up alongside the Aussie champ. Can Brazier make this stick? He gets up on the cushion. Well, he salvaged a good situation there. He's a gunfighter, all right. I told you about his passion for staying in front of other cars. It consumes him. Out of 4, and Skip Jackson motoring around Archerfield. And second, last weekend show for round 13 of this particular event. Now we're up to round 14, and this little guy can wrap the series up right here. Rush still back in second. A morale-boosting second place for Rush, although he hates seconds almost as much as he hates dentist appointments. Out of turn number 4, Jackson in full command, romps to victory. Rush in second, Jensen in third, Brazier back to Kading and Danny Smith. Very good race. Skip Jackson from flag to flag, but the interest was always on the minors. There he is, the skilled engineering O'Brien Aluminium. Number 7 takes out victory in round 14 of the World Series Sprint Cars. Welcome to Archerfield International Speedway for round 14 of World